Well. Look who the cat drug in this time. Woo! Another thing I noticed on a call the other day, if I don't go in and adjust my volumes, I'm peaking like a motherfucker. Oh yeah, let's make it sound good for everyone, y'all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. What do you mean I'm blurry? What? What do I do with the remote? Jesus, something. And hi, how's everybody doing today? I got this fun remote, and if you just push the buttons on it, it does weird things to your camera, and I really like that. So, we're just gonna keep pushing buttons and fucking with shit. Oh, and now I'm recording because I have been recording my streams in the cloud. And that shit says it's HD, but that shit looks like trash TV. So, I do need to start recording, but I can't keep these humongous large files. So, keeping it 24, recording in HD as opposed to it 4K. I'm hoping all that will help with this. How's everybody doing today? I don't have shit to do today. Look at that here. I don't fucking care because I ain't got shit to do today. Now, I'm having a little bit of a consumption right now. What the fuck is this? Okay, they're different. So I am going to suggest that if you're in the same boat, Saturday, it's not super nasty out or anything, is it? Is it like shitty outside? I mean, I know it's sunny, but like, is it like miserable hot today? No. Look at that. We're in the 70s all day. So yeah, if you're inside, you're an idiot unless you're like me. If you're injured and you can't go ride your one wheel or go out and do stupid shit, if you're fucked like me, then yeah, get it. Stay inside. But if it was up to me, I'd be on my one wheel right now, hitting that trail, taking pictures, then coming home and busting my ass on the house, getting that garage where it needs to be. Like, I can't do anything. But it's okay. I kind of look at it like this. We all have those times in life where it's time to slow down. Life is going to show you, hey, you're overdoing it. It's time to slow down. Me ripping my biceps in half does not mean I'm just going to give up. It just means it's time to take a break for about 3 months, from what I'm told. Good God. They said physical therapy will start in 3 months from Friday. And I'm like, I'm going to physical therapy the shit out of myself between now and then. Stretching, lifting, pushing, pulling, all that stuff with this arm is impossible right now. It's like I gotta learn to walk again once I can walk. I can't even extend my arm all the way out. I can get it to right about there. Yeah, pushing it there maybe. But this, no. A little bit like that, yes. This is beautiful. I used to be able to do this with my left arm. Now it's more like this. Bringing it closer as I go, but it's just stretching all that shit they just reconnected. And I have not yet looked. And maybe that's something fun we can do together. Your biceps are ripped off your left elbow, and you're an entrepreneur that's out there and overdoing it, trying to make something happen because you feel like shit, you fucked up, you shit the bed for the last 20 years, and now you're making up for it. And now I gotta stop? Are you kidding me? So, yeah, like, it sucks. I'm trying to get on my grind. I'm trying to get out here. I got so much I want to build and do. And for me to be stopped, and this isn't somebody saying, hey, Joe, you can't do this. And me go, well, yeah, watch me. I'll work around it. This is me saying, my arm's fucked and I can't do shit. It sucks. But hey, like I tell the wife all the time, we're going to run into shitty situations. How do we approach that? Like, first of all, when you're immature, you get shitty with each other in high stressful situations. But if you have a healthy relationship, you know that that shitty thing that happened to you or to your partner didn't just happen to them or to you. It happened to both of you. Like my wife right now. Mina is, she's a tough cookie. Very independent. Seeing her take care of me the way she is, that says a lot for her. And I fucking love her to death. Thank you, babe, for everything you've been doing. Yeah, like driving right now. I drove myself down to get some Red Bulls this morning. You know, I kind of gave my wife shit about it, saying, I'm going to go get me some Red Bulls since you are still laying in bed. Which I don't care. She's laying in bed. But, like, I knew I was going to go down there anyway. I wanted to see for myself. A week after surgery, can I start driving yet? And I can. I can make it happen. But do I want to spend 2 hours in the car driving with one arm to get my son? Like, I don't. Nah. No. Long trips, you're coming with me. Going into the city or get on the freeway, I'd feel more comfortable somebody else driving right now. But come next week, I feel like my pushing myself this week, and I've already told everybody I'm not going to be going to the studio this week. I'm staying here in the home studio. So, after next week of me stretching and fucking pushing this arm to get back, because think about the atrophy. Think about how much this bicep has died in the last 3 weeks of just not being used. Especially when it was cut off and it was just hanging under my armpit. The bicep's just floating there, doing absolutely nothing. It can't be used. It's not connected to anything. So the muscle's just decaying, dying. That's why I was like, why did it take 2 weeks and 3 days for me to get my surgery when it should have took 1 week? I knew right away what the fucking problem was. Even the ER doctor, I needed a referral. Beacon Orthopedics aren't just going to take you and, hey, yeah, I think I ripped my arm. Can I come in? Like, sure. You have to be referred to them because there's been a diagnosed, proven problem. Anyway, got the MRI, got the surgery scheduled. It took 2 weeks and 3 days. Every week feels like 6 months worth of repair. It's probably not true. Like, again, I'm bitching. I don't even know what the surgery entailed. Like, my wife, when she broke her leg, we had both thought when they put a rod in your leg, it's just, they're screwing that to the side of your bones, and like that'll keep your bones secure by, binding your bone to this steel rod in your leg. No, that's not how it works. The rod goes inside of your bone. I don't know if you ever knew this or not, but when you have a titanium rod in your leg, it is not just like down the side of your bone. They fucking take a hammer and they chisel that fucking thing and they just hammer that thing down into your fucking bone. Like, we watched a video after my wife's surgery and it fucked us both up. Like, what the fuck? And now I want to go watch a surgery of what a bicep replacement looks like. But I don't know if I can stomach it right now. I might throw up. Yeah. My sister had the thing for flesh and blood. And yeah, not me. Not this guy. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, so I think today will be a good day to start early. 64%. You hear that, Nader? 64%. Goddamn dog hair. I seen a dog hair sticking out the end of this. I wonder how much dog hair I smoke every month. Hmm. So, yeah. What can you do? So, why the fuck do I get on here and do this? I ask myself that sometimes. Am I just wanting attention? Am I just thirsty for attention? I don't know. I think we all are to some degree. Do you have any idea how many people there are in the world? Do you have any idea how small our world is? How are both of these things so true? Well, on the global scale of things, on a universal scale of things, there's a lot of unknowns. How do we know that we're the only people on this planet? Or well, on this planet, I'm pretty sure we figured that out. We have a few other weirdos on this planet, like dolphins. Those smart motherfuckers, they're weird and they live underwater, but they're smart. There's other planets that have biological life on it. There's other worlds with other things that we have not seen. There's so much unknown. And that's like one of the truest tests, I think, for all of us is that, this is why religion is so, it's just such a far stretch for me, especially how many different religions and different places in the world. Like, people were so sheltered. We have the internet now, we have global connection. So those that stood at the top, what kept them at the top? What kept them from having everyone find out that it's all a fucking lie. You know, I love I love astrology. And I love there's so many unknowns about our world, but what I do know is that people that took the time to capture and document and log the stars, people that had the tools and the ability to do this, they weren't some lonely lone guy in his hut. They were some of the smartest people coming together, working together to figure out things. And if you were able to track stars, you were basically a celebrity back then if you were that smart and able to grow a crop instead of foraging for food every day. Now you're controlling your food. You know, as we evolve as humans, we're able to take knowledge and pass on to others. That way they can focus on doing other things while the younger generation carries the workforce and carries everything going on, like planning the foods and stuff. Then you run into a civilization where people are less fortunate than you, and then you can just beat the shit out of them and make them do your work for you, and in the most physical and emotional abusive way possible. And I just you look over time of how we have taken power and knowledge and use that to squash the little people. We've got all the history, the knowledge out there now. Even before the internet, there was books and magazines. There was information being shared and thrown everywhere, and people were just focused on. I like to play basketball, or I like to do fishing. Like, and who are the ones that are interested in get everybody to not be hungry? How do we make sure everybody can walk in their house and turn on a light switch? How do we have civilization? It's maddening to think of where we are. So yeah, I guess this is get high with Joseph and just talk about rambling bullshit about the world and how little and insignificant each of us are, but also at the very same time, how incredibly profound and amazing and unique each one of us are. You know what's different between me and Napoleon? Timeline. The one constant, the one thing that we can never get back is our time. And you're here, you're in it. You know, that's another thing about everything I'm building in my professional life is that there is a constant that you can't change. There's a variable you can't change. And that's time. So how are we using our time? What objectives are we putting in place? What matters do we have in place? And are we enjoying ourselves and making it less painful for everyone around us as we go? That's why I love Star Trek so much. I think that's why so many people do love Star Trek. Like, they have such a cult following because that's the civilization we want to live in. I am so fucked. What am I and who am I? The fuck am I doing? You know, I thought about what kind of videos I can make because I want to make videos, but I want it to be about my brands I'm supporting. I want it to be about the mission I'm pushing. But how do you get people interested in all this? I'm just a yap in here. Uh, you know, I got all the gadgets you could ever want. I started a technology business and I've done quite well with it. And I do want to grow it, but I don't want to be the one doing the weed work. I want people helping fill in the applications, and that's what an account manager will be. Here, my kid, I'm working right now. I can't stop. I feel guilty. Okay. I felt guilty. I had to go and share. But I'm done now. What a beautiful day. So, what I'm doing is I'm capturing me being an idiot at home so I can look back at me being an idiot, doing nothing all day, and be like, see, if I would have started this sooner, I'd have been here sooner. So, what's that thing I'm supposed to do now to make that happen? Nice. So, I have my stream up, I have my social media up, and what I'm doing is I'm working within AI to uh, and quit and reopen my chat GPT. All right, we're gonna allow it. Oh, wifey's calling. Hold on. Hold on, babe. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go see the Odyssey on Wednesday. So I'm talking to AI right now, and I'm asking it to tell me how does my stream look. Visually, it looks strong, professional, moody tech studio vibe. Your face is sharp and properly exposed. The purple lighting separates you well, and and the background feels intentional rather than cluttered. But this improvement it gave me, I want to actually try this. The biggest improvement would be eye line. You're looking off camera. Well, not this improvement. I do look at the camera when I'm talking or addressing you directly. And I try not to close my eyes when I'm talking. But if I do, I'm talking to you and I'm closing my eyes like this, I'm being a douchebag. Like that's just me trying to. I do that sometimes. I have to close my eyes to visualize the thing I'm talking about to articulate it well. I'm learning to not be so hasty and instead take a pause. And even with my eyes open looking at you, I can go dead and think about the thing and visualize it mentally. I guess that is that stupid? Is that a thing? Let's ask AI. I do address the audience and look into the camera to make direct eye contact. Period. One habit I've been working to break is closing my eyes while I talk because I try to visualize the thing so I can articulate it better. Period. I just got done saying to the audience that I've learned to take pauses and visualize it mentally while still looking at the person, comma, because while looking at them, I can still mentally shift into visualizing the thing. And that hesitation and keeping my eyes and eye contact focused and working on that has become almost habit forming now. So, chat comma, is this a thing or am I being dumb? Question mark. You're describing a real cognitive trade off. People commonly look away or close their eyes while retrieving words or constructing a mental image because eye contact consumes attention. Reducing incoming visual information can make thinking easier. What you're practiced what you've practiced is essentially separating where your eyes are pointed from where your attention is working. What you've practiced is essentially separating where your eyes are pointed from where your eyes are pointed from where your attention is working. Jesus, that's a weird way to. Maintaining a soft outward gaze while visualizing internally. That's a genuine communication skill. Just don't turn it into constant, unbroken eye contact. That can feel intense or rehearsed. For streaming, a natural rhythm works best. Look into the lens for important statements. Pause without rushing to fill the silence. Briefly glance away, assembling a complex thought. Return to the lens as you deliver the conclusion. All right, it's getting a little too textbook here. Again, it's not so much because when I close my eyes, I'm talking, or people will look off into the distance while they're talking to, stare out into nowhere while they're. But being able to do that, and it's right, you don't want to make eye contact, but staring off into the distance for a second and then coming and then starting to talk and bring them back to eye contact feels a lot better than closing your eyes, talking, and then just opening them up again. Like, I guess you look more present if you keep your fucking eyes open, is the point. For me, the point is to just keep your eyes open, period. That's the big focus here, comma. Closing your eyes while you talk makes you look like a douchebag. And it's something that I did a lot, and I still do from time to time. I'm not perfect, but it has made my communication 10 times better. All right. Now back to that thing, because I get sidetracked. The biggest improvement would be eye line. You're looking off camera, so your stream feels slightly less direct when addressing the viewers. Look toward the lens more often. I'd also lower the visible boom mic hardware a little and dim the bright background monitors by roughly 10 to 20% so your face stays dominant. Overall, about an 8 out of 10 visually. I can't judge audio quality, motion smoothness, or dropped frames from this still preview. So I am going to let's try some of its improvements that it's asking for here. Yeah. Okay. That's why you gotta do what you gotta do. And right now, ChatGPT is looking at me as I talk into the mic, and that's beautiful, right? Because it's going to take some fresh grabs from what we're doing, and it's going to help us better understand if our improvements made any differences. It's thinking. So keep eye contact with you until it's done with its prompt here. Oh, I see it moving out my peripheral. So we'll keep looking here. Make sure it gets me looking into the camera. There's a chance that it may have grabbed me looking away for a second because I did look away a few times. But I'm maintaining this. I still see it working in my peripheral. I see the highlighted thing moving, so I know it's still thinking. But the point of this is, oh, I see it responding a bunch of shit. It looks like it just stopped. It did. It stopped. Yes, noticeably better. I sampled a couple of moments, and you maintained open, direct eye contact while your expression and gestures remain natural. It doesn't look like you're forcing a stare. It looks present and conversational. You're also framed closer. Your face is brighter, and the background still has excellent balance. The tighter crop creates more connection and authority. I'd leave it here. The shot is now around 9/10 visually. Well, what can I do to bring it to a 10 out of 10? What will it take to make it a 10 out of 10? I wonder what it's going to say. Probably need to have some branding on here somewhere, like, the logo. I'm on 3 platforms right now, but I'm not really advertising anything. I'm not really even talking about anything specific. Um, Life is complicated, and we're all going through things. Like right now, what I'm going through is I know I got a great tech stack. I've built a great tech stack. I have great digital assets. I got more digital assets than most people can have, and I have enough cameras to build as much. Now it's like, cool, Joe, you got all this stuff, but what do you have to say? Um, Having the master plan is something. Working with people and getting them to see the idea and making it more true and more balanced. You know, I need to have a conversation with each one of my gatekeepers and let them know that my goal is to help the business have a great, what, what we call a data stack, a healthy data stack, governed and administered the way the owners, the directors, and gatekeepers want it to be owned. more digital assets with a tech stack that professionals use on multi-million dollar productions, comma. I'm building a framework, a plan, if you will, that I use to approach life in general. Period. I've taken so many concepts such as Stoicism, 5S, Six Sigma. There's so many different systems. There's so many different ways. There's so many different categories of things. There's so many options. It's so overwhelming. All of it. How do you deal with 1,000 balls being thrown at you? Nexogens, John asked me that. And that was the first question out of his mouth. Well, no. The first question out of John's mouth, which, John, like, I don't know what it is. I can tell the guy's been through some shit. John seems like a super sweet dude. But his very first question to me, again, a $8 million a year IT company here in Cincinnati, the lead of that company, first question out of his mouth was, "When was the last time you took acid?" That was his first question to me. Period. I told him it's been more than 20 years. And I remember him asking me something about like what is making it look like to you? Like what does that mean? What does success mean to you? I'm like, being able to have a fulfilled life and feel like I've helped leave the place better than I found it. Um, to be able to go travel the world and experience as much as I can while doing that thing. And he asked, "How do you catch? Like how do you handle having 1,000 balls thrown at you? How do you know which ones to catch?" And I get his metaphor. I get the question. That's my framework. There's this ringing, this constant, this sustained thing that we're all sharing called time. It is the straightest, cleanest infinite line that you will ever see in your life. It's the most valuable. Diamonds and gold relish within this, just like the rest of us. And understanding that we're all objects, that we're all physical things with within the same timeline. We're all sharing the same thing. We're all connected through time. Even physically, we're all connected. We're all made of the same. Where you're born with this timeline and where you're positioned, what does your environment look like? What how was your parents raised, and how are they prepared to raise you, if at all? And it's almost immediately 1,000 balls are being thrown at us, and we hope to have parents to smack away the bad ones and keep the good ones, to protect us, but to also nurture us, to rear us. Oh, fuck. Period. My master plan. I, Joseph Sunderman, have created a master plan to approach life. And just like you would physically build yourself, again, you could be born and because of the parents' DNA, and it may not have anything to do with their DNA. It could be something that they ingested or went through. They could have been in an accident, and you had to be born prematurely with underdeveloped lungs, and that gave you a chronic respiratory issue throughout your life. What I'm saying is you're going to be dealt with cards. You're put on this planet, on this timeline, and from the very beginning, you're being prepared, hopefully being prepared. And a lot of us just aren't. Estranged parents dealing with their own shit, that have babies that can't manage themselves, let alone a baby. You know, I didn't have a kid until I was 28. I had friends that were making babies before, like 3 years before they were 20. Some 4 or 5. Babies making babies. And what that is, if it's done in a strong religious community family where there's lots of values and they use the Bible to steer them, well, there's a framework there. And whether it's true or not, that framework provides them a direction. What happens when you're being raised by somebody that's been traumatized so much and felt like their only way to get out was get into the military? And because their life is so shitty, they put their selfishness and I don't blame my parents for my current situation. Their kid, my parents did the best they could, and thank God for my stepdad. My biological father, he pieced the fuck out. My mom had me at 19. Babies making babies. Yeah. My point here is that at some point on this line, you have to, you don't have to do anything. But if you're like me, you're going to look around and go, shit, I'm not happy where I am. And if I don't change something, and that's the thing is when you go with, I don't change something. It's when you stop saying, because of this, because of that, because of this and that, I can't do this. And God, I'd get so pissed at my kids when they said I can't. My daughter, poor Olivia, yo, kiddo, I love you more than anything. You will never know how much I love you. God, your mom hated how much I loved you, kiddo. I still do. Anyway, some people play victim. What are my streams going to be about? When I get out there, I tell everybody that we're all human. Even celebrities are like us. They have the same emotional bullshit baggage. It's just in a different reality. Imagine somebody that never had to do their own laundry and shit, like happen to have to be on their own in a one bedroom apartment or something. Like imagine flipping the script. I would love a reality show where they take somebody from the hood and they take somebody that's been born with a silver spoon and they just do like a little swap-a-roo for like a month. And I want to know how much each, not even a month, you'd have to really do it for a year to get a real assessment and figure out what the gaps both learn. Because you know what? I think we'll all be better off in a center middle ground to some degree. You know, everybody should have access to great tools. And we're getting there. We're close. Everybody should be able to be connected. And the world knows that. That's why the government and all these different things, they're making it happen because it's just like we have roads. You can just get in a car and drive anywhere you want. That's part of giving back. That's why if you're going to drive, you have to pay for you have to do your part. You have to have a license to be able to be on these roads. You have to have a registered vehicle and you have to pay those things. 'Cause all that helps pay for the infrastructure. We don't educate people that they're put onto this earth in the timeline and to be real with them where they are on the timeline and to show them the different roadmaps. God, I had a huge epiphany one night tripping my balls off. This night had Nikki Patton, Omar Bailey, God, what was her name? Krista Spivey, maybe? I think she was the asshole towards me. Anyway, and she went off on me, calling me a bum. Because I was great at music. I know where I am in the timeline where I was put, but this is not where I belong. This isn't me. I'm. This isn't the life I want to live. And what life is that? Well, a life where I have to clock in and clock out, and my contribution to get my income come from me being a robot on a line. And I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I always knew that. And that rubbed people wrong. And someone like Krista, who, despite being a minority, especially in a predominant white, like I get her resentment, her hatred, but she just went off on me, calling me a bum. And she was right. When she said that, like I had this epiphany moment. And when I took acid, I would like walk out in the woods by myself. And, like, especially if I could have like a torch or something. People had tiki torches. I can just go out into the woods by myself and just walk around, like tripping my balls off. Like it's amazing. Very spiritual. A lot of my friends took acid because it was a fun party drug. I was like, this is opening up my mind in ways I never thought could be opened. Probably also uh, doing damage at the same time. When you're young, you don't care. And I feel like because how much I partied, how much I did, like I never thought I'd live to see 60, 70, let alone, yeah, I'm aging fairly well, I feel. Got my biceps ripping open. I'll get that fixed. But what does a guy like me have to say? What is my content going to be? Creative tech is to help individuals. Navicore is to help brands. All of it is using the master plan. That was one hell of a prompt. Damn, that was a lot. And that is so sweet that I can just control my camera right here. Boop. Ain't that cool? Anyway, I'm not ready to start recording yet, but yeah, we're going to figure out what to actually start talking about and actually make some good content. Uh, you know, having so many. How am I able to be a musician and a photographer and a videographer and a business coach and a personal coach and go to this event, do that event, and go watch the movie this weekend? Like, how in the fuck is he doing all of this shit? And he's on live doing nothing all day. Like, how's that possible? Well, I'm old and I've done a lot of shit and I got a lot of history and I've captured my shit and I'm going to share it. We got to figure out how to share it and what to say. When I say we, if you're like me and you're trying to build and get ahead, well, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it. Yeah, boy. Can you hear me okay? I hope so. Let's go check it out. Let's see. Yeah, boy. Can you hear me okay? I hope so. Let's go check it out. Let's see. Yeah, boy. Can you hear me okay? I hope so. Let's go check it out. Let's see. Keep that off. But it does sound good. I'm happy with it. kids.
How many times do I have to say it? Organizing is just... Everything is a scam. Or at least, I kind of feel... Convenience is a scam. Check this out.
If you were born in the 80s or 90s, you grew up in a world that doesn't exist anymore. You remember when friendship meant knocking on someone's door, not sending a text. When Saturday mornings were made for cartoons, not scrolling feeds. When happiness came from mixtapes, bike rides, and streetlights telling you it was time to go home. But here's what makes your generation different. You were the bridge. The last to know life without technology, and the first to grow up adapting to it. You lived through payphones and dial-up, and then watched the world transform into something faster, louder, and harder to escape. And maybe that's what...
The only reason that I am successful. If we have a problem, what's the problem? They got Ted. Who got Ted? He was in Brooklyn with Cousine. Some goon snatched him up. We're not really sure who they are. Is he alive? He's alive. You know where he is? We know where he is. Then go get him. Hold on a second, Sonny. Not now. Now, I'm tired of this time. How come we're the ones who always gotta go save this guy? He contributes nothing to this organization. He's just some piece of garbage from Staten Island. You may be right, but he's our piece of garbage. Now go get him. If we have a problem, what's the problem? They got Ted. Who got Ted? He was in Brooklyn with Cousine. Some goon snatched him up. We're not really sure who they are. Is he alive? He's alive. You know where he is? We know where he is. Then go get him. Hold on a second, Sonny. Not now. Now, I'm tired of this time. How come we're the ones who always gotta go save this guy? He contributes nothing to this org.
GTA 6 is about to make a ton of millionaires, so if you want a piece, do this. Go to Claude, click on Customize, Connectors, click Add and add custom connector. Name it ViewMax. Now go to viewmax.io/MCP, copy this link, add it back into Claude. Now go to YouTube and find any GTA gameplay, paste the link into Claude and use this prompt, let them cook, and boom. Upload these to YouTube Shorts and get payouts like this. If you want the full step-by-step guide, comment Claude and I'll send it to you. GTA.
He's about to end another war. And declaring war on the Na'vi, the blue avatars, not the animated avatar with the airbending, earthbending. I like that one better. The blue people, the one that, everybody wants to fuck. I want to get them. I want to probably enslave them and fuck them myself and take over their planet because they have a lot of oil. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. I'm gonna send you to the slaughterhouse, baby. He's about to end another war. I'm the.
Go to Alinea, click the Playlist Pro, choose Claude, toss in $100, confirm. Let AI invest for you. These portfolios will rebalance themselves on their own. You can sit back and let Claude trade for you.
My husband is one of the strongest men I know. Physically, mentally.
Get off my lawn!
Well, mostly physically. But one of his greatest weaknesses.
How long could you survive if your income stopped tomorrow? I was making $270,000 a year and we had 1 month of runway. And my spouse at the time asked me a question that almost broke me. If you lost your job tomorrow, how long could we survive? I did the math. 2 months, maybe 3. And I was earning $270,000 a year back then. We had a lake house, we had twin infants that were going through 20 diapers a day, and a life that looked successful from the outside. Behind the curtain, though, 1 month of real runway. And that's not wealth. That's high income. It's a house of cards. I didn't sleep that night, not because I thought I'd lose my job, but because I realized something that most people never admit. Everything that we had built depended on one fragile system, me showing up. No exceptions. If the income stopped, the illusion collapsed. And that night, it changed the way that I thought about money forever. I stopped measuring wealth by my salary. I started a simple discipline. Live on 70%, invest 20%, keep 10% in cash reserves. And I stopped chasing the appearance of wealth.
So how much do you actually need saved up so you don't have to rely on your job anymore? Let's find out. First, before you use the 70-20-10 rule, you need to figure out your overall expenses. This is what I use on my Google Sheets. Second, use the 4% rule where you multiply your expenses by 25 to figure out how much you actually need for retirement. Here's a quick table to show you how much you need invested depending on how much you need per month. Or you can plug in your exact numbers and it'll tell you right here. Third, this is the exact order of where to put your money that my community follows. Pay off debt, high yield checking, high yield savings, 401k, Roth IRA, HSA, and TBA. And these are the brokerages and broad-based low-cost index funds that my community invests in. Keep it simple. If you want all of my resources, they're all free in my bio. I hope this video helps.
How long could you survive if your income stopped tomorrow?
I keep seeing people say Zen.
How long could you survive if your income stopped tomorrow?
Keep seeing people say Zen Puff is too expensive. So listen very carefully because this changes things. Okay, you literally could not have said that at a better time because I'm about to make your day. You said Zen Puff is too expensive? It's on sale right now. And not some fake 10% off thing. 40% off. Plus, free gifts on top of that. So if price was the only thing holding you back, that excuse is officially gone. And look, I don't promote things I don't actually use. This is one of maybe 3 things I reach for every single day without thinking about it. It just works. It feels solid in your hand. It looks clean wherever you put it. And the whole experience is just better than whatever you're using now. Once you have one, you get it. Everyone says the same thing. But here's the part you need to hear. This sale does not last. Last time they ran something like this, the colors started selling out within days. The good ones went first.
I don't flinch when you raise your tone. I don't freeze when I'm on my own. I don't chase what don't stay right. I don't beg for a half-love night. You can talk slick, you can talk loud, but I don't fold for a man in a crowd.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 15 bottles of Magic Mind free. And right now you can get all 15 bottles for 50% off. If you don't love this after 100 days of using it, get your money back. But 1 shot a day gives you...
Things rich people won't tell you, but I will. This is how to get your finances together in 2026. 1, immediately start tracking your money with any of these budgeting apps, or you can use my free budgeting sheet here. 2, become a level 2 budgeter and save at least 10 to 20% of your paycheck every month. This free calculator shows you exactly how much to save. 3. Open a high-yield savings account that gives you at least 3% interest. Here are my favorite ones, but you can use whatever you're comfortable with. 4. When paying off your credit card, follow these 3 steps. Steps 1 and 2 are the most important. I like this credit card, and this credit card for beginners. 5. Open a Roth IRA by following these 4 exact steps. Comment sheets if you want my 2026 financial freedom checklist if you're interested. 6. Read these money books. I like Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, The Millionaire Next Door, and The Simple Path to Wealth. As you complete each step, check it off to keep yourself accountable. And if this video helped in any way, like and follow, and I'll help you.
Okay, love of his life. Yeah, give him another talk. This is for character development. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing this because I love him. I love him. Send in the toxic bitch. Okay, love of his. I am love. I am love.
Problem with IV ketamine clinics that nobody talks about. The first few minutes of a ketamine session may color the entire experience. With IV ketamine, the onset can feel rapid, intense, and potentially disorienting. Your arm is connected to a drip in a clinical setting for about 45 minutes. That's because IV delivery was borrowed from surgical anesthesia. The first doctors offering ketamine for mental health were anesthesiologists and ER physicians. They used what they knew. And for years, that became the default. Mindbloom's at-home injectable ketamine was designed specifically for therapeutic mental health care. The onset is described as smooth and gradual, more like an airplane than a rocket. It's a quick abdominal injection with a tiny needle, and then you can settle into your at-home session. No continuous IV, no waiting rooms, just you in your own space at your own pace. And the experience around the medicine matters just as much as the medicine itself. And that's why every Mindbloom program includes a licensed clinician who personalizes your dose, a dedicated guide who prepares you before each session and helps you integrate after, and access to a support team available. And
you're likely raising mentally weak children because you're doing too much for them. Parents don't want to admit this, but it feels good to be needed. But sometimes our job is not to protect our kids. Our job is to create an environment where they can struggle in a safe way. Literally having dinner with my kids when they were little, and they would look at me and ask me for water. The waiter's right there. I refuse to do it. Teach them to look at another person, ask for what they want, and say thank you. Go through that awkwardness. Let them struggle tying their shoe. So they're not 14 years old running to the sidelines during a soccer game, putting their foot down in front of their fucking parents. You doing too much for your kids decreases their self-esteem so that you can increase your self-esteem. You're likely raising mentally weak children because you're doing too much for them. Parents don't want to admit this, but it feels good to be needed. But sometimes our job is not to protect.
Getting sucked in, aren't I?
Stop reaching for what wounds you. Check this out.
Oh no, I want you to eat, just not at my table. I'm not bitter. I'm not wishing bad on you. I genuinely want you to win. I hope you build something. I hope it's great. I hope life treats you well. But you won't be doing it with access to me, not anymore. There's a difference in releasing what happened and reopening the door that it happened through. I can be at peace with the past without pretending it didn't teach me something. And what it taught me is that your name doesn't belong on the guest list anymore. It's not because I'm angry, it's just I'm aware now. You ate at my table before. You used that proximity to take from me. You used my generosity as an opportunity. You used my trust as a loophole. And when I finally looked around and realized what was missing, your fingerprints were everywhere, all over it. Some people aren't your enemies. They're just not your table people. They show up when there's something to gain and disappear when there's something to give. They consume what you build without contributing to how it got built. Judas broke bread at the same table, laughed at the same jokes, had the same access. Jesus didn't stop loving him, and knowing didn't make him bitter, make him discerning. So I rebuilt the table, new chairs, new standards, new guest lists, and unfortunately, everything's not on it. Not out of hate, but out of wisdom. Because not everyone who sits with you is eating with you. Some of them are eating off you. The only way to tell the difference, but watch what happens when you stop. So, just to be clear, I don't want you to starve. I just refuse to feed someone with the hand that was already given freely. So, eat well. Just somewhere else.
Shout out to Justin Owens. That is poetry right there. Once you see the relationship clearly, it's easier to stop reaching for what wounds you. Stop reaching
What was that? Where the talk part? What is your opinion on tongue? What the? Well, it's Nico. Why do you have toilet paper on your arm? Mm-hmm. Toilet paper. Well, I don't pay attention enough, so I apologize. I'm an asshole. Uh, to answer the person that doesn't hear anymore, maybe you are here. I just tore my bicep about 3 weeks ago, had surgery last week, and I'm in the healing process. I should be wearing my brace, but I'm not right now because that thing sucks and I can't type with it on. And I'm at my desk, I'm secure and safe. My arm's not going to go flat down while I have it laying on the table, so I'm good. If you don't know what a ruptured bicep, it's not pretty. It sucked. Where the talk part? Well, what the hell is... Now, if I look up this guy's asking, what is your opinion on tongue sahur? And for all I know, I could be being canceled right now. This could be something completely shady, but it also could be something very entertaining or enlightening. Who knows? Let's see what the... Is this just slang? Is this bullshit? Is this like... Oh my god. Yep. It's one of these things. See my origin video on time. What?
Or at this point, I've seen multiple fake explanations go viral, a lot of speculation across different comment sections, and even a theory that it was just an AI hallucination of the phrase Batman. However, the original creator of Tung 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 Sahur never actually revealed the prompt, and even if they do, I wouldn't believe them because they made hundreds of these characters over a year ago, and they're only just now milking Triple T because he's popular again. More realistically, the prompt has been lost to time, but there remains a cultural fascination with trying to backsolve the original wording, and I think this is really similar to the philosophical concept of the true name. The idea is that uttering a certain phrase can capture the spiritual essence of another being, giving you the power to summon or banish them from reality. For example, in ancient Egyptian mythology, the goddess Isis tricks Ra into revealing his true name, giving her total control over him and allowing her to elevate her son Horus to the throne instead. Then there's the idea of the Tetragrammaton in Judaism, or the true form in Taoism, where a written name has the ability to contain a divine spirit inside of it. In a way, that's exactly what's happening with generative...
What exactly was the prompt they used to generate Tung Sahur? Well, legend has it, the AI photo generator was told to make a picture of Batman, but due to licensing issues with DC, this AI didn't have the authority to generate any DC superheroes, so instead it literally made a Batman, a man made out of a baseball bat holding a baseball bat. So in a way, Tung Sahur is a superhero, born from heroic intentions. Others have tried to replicate it, people living in the shadows day after day type prompts, hoping for another Triple T, but it will never happen. So the next time you think about Tung or use the Fortnite skin, just know you're playing as a hero. You're playing as the true Dark Knight.
Directed by Christopher Nolan. Well, where do I begin here? What do I know about this? Well, what I know is that Fortnite is very popular. And when you have stupid memes that go viral, you got people like Fortnite that'll take that concept. And, the internet's full of bored teenagers. So, my thoughts on it are kids are kids. Adults will do what adults do and infiltrate and find a way to make money off kids. So you're seeing it all happen in real time. Now the controversy, because he's a Batman, get it? Batman? Yeah, that's cute. I don't care. And I don't know, maybe there is some big, huge, important shaking community. Like, we got to get ahead of this Batman thing. If it was, like, I don't see it being anything worth my energy or time. But obviously, it's really got you hyped up. What are you doing? Where are you going? Have you ever jumped out of an airplane? Have you ever shot a rifle? Or have you only, like, dove out of a plane and shot a rifle on a video game? Does that matter to you? Are you good never experiencing life, but living? Because you're going to be the reason why the Matrix wins. And that's okay. We're surrounded by people with different interests and different, yeah. I think there's an important effort to consumption ratio that should be there. And if all you do is consume, well, then your life will show that. Like, you're going to be struggling. But if you learn to put forth effort and to build yourself and to educate yourself and to grow and to take what you learn and apply it in life's decisions, if you actually get out here and, like, instead of playing the video game, you treat life like a video game, you get out here and you do it, that's when things get exciting. For me. I'm sure most people love watching porn. Some form of porn. There's some porn that you may want to watch that you would never do in real life just because it's just, whoa, it's out there. There's fantasy too, right? And breaking away from the reality and enjoying fantasy is fun. So we do that in different ways. I'm not going to do that through a video game. I'm going to do that with another human being. Preferably one that's voluptuous, and my preference would be, a gorgeous brunette with hourglass figure and, hey babe, busy? Anyway. I hope that answers your questions on my thoughts on that. I try. See, I'm trying to get better. I responded, and look, it was only 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later. Yikes, 30 minutes later. I'm sorry, 30 minutes later. I suck. I suck at all of this. God damn. Yeah. I guarantee you that. Well, maybe it is. So here, way gay official, whatever that means. Ah, fuck. There's some serious shit wrong here. Man. The pressure wrapped around it helps, makes it feel better. God, I am peeling like a bitch. My skin's all fucked up. Everything's fucked. Yeah. My bicep tore. And they had to go cutting in my arm and reaching up and grabbing it and tying it back down together and then sewing me back up and then throwing a thing on saying, you can start using it again in 3 months. I can't lift. It's so fucking weak. Look at that coloration. You see the bruising throughout my whole arm? I don't know if it's coming through the camera. Can you see that color? See a little bit of there. I was like, that iodine? Did they get iodine all over me? I've had like 5 showers. Yeah, it's not iodine, that's bruise. Ah, fuck. And as a drug addict, a recovering drug addict, Tylenol is the best I get. Well, that's not true. Medical marijuana. Was on it before this happened. Thank God. All right. All right. My arm's hurting. I got you, bitch. Toilet paper. Kids. God, it fucking hurts. Like I said, putting that pressure on it does help. After the surgery, the pressure was killing it. But now it helps it. Ain't that weird? Oh, whatever this connected here to whatever they. Oh, yeah. Oh. Fun stuff. Yeah, so this little contraption here, like I can lock my arm in place. That kind of actually feels good being hung up right there. I can lock it in place. Now they move this little gadget here. This right here, I guess, is what keeps it from being able to move. Well, this one right here, they got this one locked. So like, they made that go up to where I can take this all the way up to my chest. Get it all the way up. Well, it's locked right now. All the way. God damn it. And then this way, it's backed up to here, but I can only go to. I can't believe that bitch locked it all the way back there. That's the straightest I can get my arm right now. It's too much, too much. Shit. Wife isn't going to be happy with this, but we're doing NYPD tonight, bitch. Whoop, whoop. You better be careful, too, because if I accidentally call her a bitch, I am getting beat the fuck down.
And access to a support team.
I have to pee. Keep it heavy. Keep it real. Love you, bastards. Peace.